I have to start by saying we live in the opposite of a purpose-driven world. Look around you. People are starved for meaning. Most people know that their work really doesn't have much meaning. It's unlikely their work is going to change the world. It's pretty unlikely that they're going to create a new company or a new product. And worst of all, people don't feel driven to personally do the work that they are doing. They know that just about anybody could probably do their job. Heck, maybe even a robot could do their job. And so this is really not a great place to be because we are desperate. All of us want to uniquely contribute our skill set. We want to make a difference and create something that really is of value, something that is sustainable. Maybe it's a new product, maybe it's a new company, but that's what we want to do. And we often don't get that chance. And the lack of having that chance, the lack of having a sense of purpose at work, it's devastating. It's devastating to organizations, and it is devastating to people. Gallup recently did a study in 142 countries, and they said, let's talk about engagement. How engaged are people? And what they found was that only 13% of people are engaged at work. That means that only 1 in 8 people are psychologically committed to their job and may actually contribute positively to their work. 1 in 8? Well, where the heck is everybody else? And what are we going to be doing about it? Because this is not a good situation. It's not good for the people, it's not good for their families, it's not good for the environment, and it's not good for the employers. And so what we need to start looking at is, what are we going to do? Because it's just no longer sustainable. People say to me all the time, they say, Anne, why is everything unraveling? Why are organizations unraveling? Well, what I do is I look at the future. I look and see what's going on in terms of global trends and how do we bring it back to organizations. And from my lens, it's actually pretty easy to understand why things are unraveling. And I'm going to talk about, before we move too much into actual purpose, I'm going to talk about 4 global trends that are happening that are either somehow reinforced by the need for purpose or are caused by a lack of purpose that will help us to understand and set the framework for what is purpose. So the first trend we're going to talk about is that people are getting older and they're retiring. Now, this fact that 43% of Americans are going to be leaving the workforce in the next 7 to 8 years, that has nothing to do with actual purpose. However, what it does do is it shows us that, yes, people are getting older, they're going to retire no matter where they are. But the fact that that is happening, the fact that they are retiring, that is going to cause a purpose-driven revolution. Because what's going to happen is as the next group of people come in, otherwise known as Gen Y, as they replace a group of people who are leaving, otherwise known as baby boomers, born between 1946 and 1964, it's going to shift how we think about work. Because the group of people who are coming in, who are replacing the baby boomers, they have a completely different way of working. They have a completely different way of what they expect from work. This group of people born between 1981 and 2001, otherwise known as Gen Y or millennials, they expect 3 things from work. They expect 1, a work-life balance. 2, they expect to have some type of professional development. And 3, they expect purpose. So, because baby boomers are leaving, it's not about purpose for them, but it is all about purpose for the group of people who are coming in behind them. And that's the first trend. The second trend is very similar. And what that trend is that right now we are moving to unbelievably unprecedented amounts of ethnic, racial, and religious diversity all over the world. In the US, only 8% of our population growth is due to white people of European descent. This same group of people, who used to be a majority in the US, is going to be a minority by 2050. That's going to cause huge, huge ripples as we look at the future of work and we figure out what's going on. Because what we need to think about is, what does that mean in terms of where we are going? What I irreverently say is that our current culture, our current workforce was built for and built by what I irreverently call people who are pale, male, and stale. And that might have worked in the past, but it is no longer going to work, because our future leaders are demanding and expecting diversity. They are diversity. Because this culture that was created, it wasn't ever built for people like Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, or Ursula Burns, who is the CEO of Xerox, or even a grassroots leader like Malala. What we have now wasn't built for these types of leaders. And these leaders are turning our workplace upside down. And they are going to make purpose at the center of it.